Good morning, my friends. Oh, I can barely contain the energy that's flowing right through me right now. And if I do my goal, my job right, you are going to feel it. You're going to feel something different. And maybe you won't know what it is, but your soul knows. It's called joy. Joy is the topic today. The subject says joy is already in motion. Let me bring up that topic. Here it is. Joy is already in motion. Joy is already moving. What does that mean? That's what we're going to dive into on Always Connected, our live podcast. Yes, I'm live. So if I stumble on my words, that's why. No editing today. Going to talk a little bit about joy from the awakened way perspective. What is it if it's not a thing? What is joy if it's not an emotion? You already know it. It's who you are. It's your essence. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that just so you remember this. It's not something you realize. It's something that you come back to.
Cool. I'm actually live.
Oh, goodness, I brought somebody on stage and didn't mean to already. We'll come back to you, I promise. Okay, and that's part 2 of this podcast is when I bring in live members of our Awaken Way community to talk about the topic and see what Spirit has to say about your issues related to this topic. Did you hear that little giggle in the background? There, it's going to sound like one of those somebody's text tone or something. That's my dear soul sister Lynette Setscorn. How many of you have been with me long enough that you remember when Lynette was also my assistant, helping with the YouTube videos, helping me schedule? She was my scheduling princess for many years as I needed somebody to help me schedule readings. She's visiting here this weekend. She's bringing so much joy to this moment here right now. We were just getting ready as I was calling Spirit in, and both of us got the goosebumps as I felt us both being uplifted by joy. So we sat here in these chairs right behind me 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago, and connected with her loved ones and our mutual loved one, Brenda, across the veil. She just wrote about it in her blog, An Unexpected Mystic. I'll put the link in the show notes later. Because both of us have found such joy in our lives by coming to know that we are this state of wholeness. And where there is wholeness, we call that coherence energetically. So we could talk about this spiritually and say we are this undivided wholeness that we can call joy or love. Scientifically, we could say we arise from a field of undivided energetic wholeness of consciousness. And that to me takes the feeling away from it of how it feels to know we're all connected. So that's what I'll just start off by sharing with you. Joy is a state of wholeness. It's not an emotion. That wholeness translates through this nervous system as a feeling, and we call that joy. And so when I first connected with this state of wholeness in its fullness, the fullness I was able to experience while in a human body, I knew that that voice was something higher than any one of us individuated. And that voice told me to call it joy. And so I don't call God, I call it joy, knowing that God is not a person or a thing. It is this undivided wholeness. And I remember Lynette was the first person that I shared that with, that I said, I can't ever tell anybody I'm having these conversations. And then the next thing you know, I'm channeling that voice, and I'm channeling the insights that come from tapping into our shared wholeness. And in fact, I have a book coming out in June called Always Connected, and it consists of a lot of, but not fully, a lot of the conversations with joy that I've had over the years that I am hoping will help you come to have your own conversations with joy and know from that voice within that's unobstructed by our human drama, that this kind of wisdom and connection is accessible to all of us. When I put up today's topic, joy is already moving, I thought we might have fewer people tuning in because that topic is not dramatic. And we're not talking about chaos. We're talking about something much deeper. The human side loves drama and trauma and emergencies and crises. But there's something that never goes away, and that's this gentle nudge that just says, yes, but beneath all the drama, there is peace and there is wholeness, and that is you, already whole and complete. And I'd like you to just notice how that feels right now. This show is just a big exhale, isn't it? Because you can find the drama and the chaos. Just go to a different YouTube video right now. And I remember doing a video for someone, and an interview, and when she posted it, the headline was all about chaos and psychic medium predicts chaos. And I thought, I didn't do that. I don't do that. And I went back through the whole video and there was none of that. And that's because some people know what sells and other people, I guess, know what soothes. And I'm glad you're joining me here. We're going to get some of you on here and we'll talk about these things. And I just want you to know that there's nothing wrong with tuning into chaos. I don't want to make it seem that way at all. I mean, I just want you to see that that's the human side of you. And today in this show, and always in this show, we're guiding you back to the soul, the truest, deepest essence of you that came here for the fullness of all of it. And the fullness includes the drama and the trauma, but sometimes that gets a little much, doesn't it? Before I bring you all on, I do want to just explain the shirt. You know, it's always, what am I going to wear that'll bring the right feel to the show today? And this one jumped right out at me. Notice the hearts underneath and the heart necklace. I also chose on purpose the heart earrings, symbols of wholeness. Be like Nellie. If you know Nellie, there she is my little blonde, long-haired dachshund. And we call her Nellie Joy because she is uniquely loving. A lot of dogs are. Little Rusty's a little standoffish. He'll fake you out. He'll get up in your face and then bark, bark, bark and startle everyone. Not so good. But Nellie runs up to the people whose energy she feels that feels open to her. Dogs are a really great judge of energy fields. And if she runs up to you and tucks that little butt underneath and it's just like, love me, love me, love me. She brings out in us what is already here. So if we can be like Nellie and see through other people's walls and go up to them and just say, I'm just here to show you who you are, then you're just reflecting. You're the mirror of what is in all of us. So if we can remember, be like Nellie, what a world we would live in. That world is here in potential, and I'm grateful to help you find it again. Let me see. I will tell you, we're going to have a wild card moment at the end. I'll bring up the little banner for that. Yeah, I don't know what it is yet, but that's a moment of participation for all of us, where spirit will guide us to some practice or a meditation to wrap this all up. So I'm going to bring on as many of you as I can now, but a few little requests, please. When you get on the stage in the studio, and the link to do so is found in the show notes right now that you can find on YouTube. If you're joining us live, if you're not, you can't join us. Okay. But when you do come on stage, please try to keep your question related to this topic here. It's not a time to get readings online. And then I also ask you to think in advance, how can I keep my discussion and my question as concise as possible? Okay, so kind of bring it down, because I don't want to cut you off for expedience's sake. I want to allow you to flow, but let's keep it concise for everybody's sake. And I'm going to trust spirit now as I start to bring you on to guide us in the answers. There's my first lip twitch of the show. That's spirit saying, we're ready. Bring it on, to guide us in the best possible responses. So who was the person that I accidentally brought in there earlier? I'm not exactly sure. I can see you all backstage. Who was it that accidentally raise your hand and wave at me? There you are. Okay. Because I want to make sure I get to you after that. So we're going to bring on Paula first, and then we'll go back to whoever came in first order. All right. So now we're going to go to our Let's Chat with Spirit section. See, I'm sound engineer, tech engineer. I have to push all the buttons at the same time. Oh my goodness. Spirit help me. So Paula, hi, welcome to the show. You have a hyphenated name. Is it actually
Paula Marin Poitras? Yes.
Okay, Paula Marin. All right.
Poitras is hyphenated from marriage. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, welcome to the show. Is that a South Carolina?
Yes, it is. We're down here for the winter months. We bought a house here, and yeah, I heard you were. I think we just missed you from.
Yeah, I left South Carolina in December, but beautiful place.
I'll tell you about quickly. So Candace Blair said she has worked with you.
Candace, those of you who have been with me with Candace, she's a wonderful sound healer and Kundalini yoga instructor and a beautiful soul. Yeah.
So I've been watching you. I was kind of unprepared, but I will say what brings me joy is my cat Rascal. So I'm not really prepared for her question, but I wanted to get on to see if I could figure this out, and then I think we.
Well, Spirit is saying right now is, I just merged with Sanaya, my guides, and I just listened to what they say. And they say that you didn't need a question because everybody, can you feel it? She's just radiating joy. And you could be frowning and it's still coming off of you. And if you found Candace and you're led to this show because you already are allowing your soul and your light to shine, all of you. And you can feel it and others feel it, even if you're in distress. So allow me to just make a point here, Paula, real quick, that joy and finding joy doesn't mean that every moment you're happy. That's one of the key points today. Joy is not a state that comes and goes. In human joy it is, but the joy we're talking about today, let me bring that banner up, is the undivided wholeness that we are, that is always flowing. It is life. Love in full expression is joy. And I feel it from you, but we're going to just capitalize on you talking about your cat and me talking about my dog, or any animal that doesn't have to deal with this brain of ours that makes us feel separate. Animals, cats too, although they can be grumpier than dogs. No, I don't want to make enemies of cat people, but I had 3 cats at once. So I was a cat person for a while, and but they live in the present moment, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, and they show us how to just be present. And cats don't need noise all the time. They can just sit and soak it up. And if we could just look at our little domestic friends and say, I want to be more like that, we would feel joy and not have to be doing things all the time.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yay. Well, see?
Yes.
Good. No drama, no trauma, but beautiful reminders.
It was very nice to meet you. I don't want to take up all your time, but I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done to help me on my journey.
Well, and the guys just said they want you to say one way in which, not necessarily me, but this work, what has something through this vessel known as Suzanne, how has it helped you?
I would say it has helped me be more present.
Like your cat.
Yes, like my cat. It has also introduced me to other like-minded people. Another one was Michelle Claire. I met her in Phoenix last year at a wellness retreat. And my wife and I, we're going to the IONS conference in Seattle this year. So just my whole belief system has changed, but I won't go off topic.
But what Spirit says is that the greatest joy for you is you've learned to connect the dots.
I have. Absolutely. I have. Yeah.
And that means everybody that she and all of us on this path start to see the web of connections of the wholeness. And once you see that, you realize that all of your choices have led to where you are now. And yet Spirit is guiding you as best it can. And when we make choices that align with the soul, the dots just connect even more. Right?
Yes.
Well, beautiful. Thank you, Paula.
Nice to talk with you. Take care. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. And if you would press the red button to remove yourself, that'll make room for more people to come on the studio.
Absolutely.
All right. I will just remind you that any of you to join me later. I have the little giggling and commentary you hear off stage here is Lynette Setscorn. And I used to play this sign game with our friend Brenda in spirit before every reading. And I would say, Brenda, tell me something Lynette's doing right now. And she would tell me, and I would text Lynette, and she would write back and say, oh my God, she's such a spy, because it was so accurate. It was so awesome to just know that this person in spirit that we love is still right here with us and aware of what we're doing. It was uncanny, and to the point of some really personal stuff that maybe Lynette didn't want me to know about, what she was buying in the store at that very moment, right? You can hear her laughing. She can't help it. And it was so great because after she would validate that, and I'm ready to now do a reading, because in the past I used that as a validation. Yep, I'm tuned in, I'm ready to go, but I don't need the validation anymore. But the sign game was always fun. Lynette would text back. We had this little ritual. She would text back, go joy, with a capital J. And our topic today is joy is already moving. And I bring up this story for all of you, taking up time from those of you waiting. Sorry about that. But I bring it up because her saying go joy was this double meaning thing. Like the joy is flowing, but meaning, guys, we don't do anything without our soul informing us. And the best connection you can make with your loved one is when you realize it's all joy. It's all the oneness. Your loved one who you're trying to connect with, the guides just said, calm down, Suzanne, because I get so passionate about this. Your loved one you're trying to connect with, your guides, and you are joy in expression. And when you acknowledge that and you say, I'm just going to shift to this is joy, all of a sudden, here it is. See that lip twitch? That's it. This is the greatest knowing we can come to. We're no longer relying on a God who is separate to be here or not. Joy cannot help but be here through you, as you. This is the recognition. And when you come to that, I see you nodding. I'm going to jump the queue here. Debbie, I see you nodding off stage here. You're on, you're live. Thousands of people are watching you. Don't worry. It's all joy. How are you today?
Hi, Suzanne. I have been waiting to meet you. I always compare your name to, I went to a,
Everybody, please. Okay. Just thank you. I feel the appreciation. It's all joy. This is just how joy is showing up, and you too. So go ahead. I cut you off, but it's because I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
there's some background. I can hear your voice a couple of times. I'm not sure what's, I've logged out and logged back in, but there's echoing, so forgive.
Oh, am I blurry by any chance, or am I clear today? I'm asking you, Debbie, can you see me clear, or am I blurry?
No, you're clear. It's just your voice is not, the words aren't matching your lips movement. I'm not sure what's going on.
This is a problem with the platform I'm using, and we're going to be changing that up in the future. But
you're very clear.
Hear and feel the words, and tell me what you wanted to ask about today or talk with Spirit about. There is a delay. Must be a big delay on her end of it. Okay. Debbie, I'm really, really sorry, but
I've been trying to connect. I know that I have been trying to connect with myself more. I do feel that I have spirit, but
go ahead. It's the delay. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. This is so uncomfortable. Debbie, I'm going to remove you from the stage, and I'm going to go in because I know what she was going to say. She's just feeling like that connection is not happening, or it's not as clear as she would like. I can feel that from her. So, Debbie, I can still see you. So I'm sorry about that, but it's just, when we're on the air, we have to keep it moving here. Just take the words, everybody that are coming through today, but also the energy behind them, the message behind them, and feel that. And here's your assignment, Spirit says. Before you go to connect with Spirit, these 3 words, I am this wholeness, this state of joy. Feel that as you go to tune into Spirit, and that's going to help you align and just temporarily expand the restricted state of humanness, your humanness, because that's a great way to picture it. The human story that we're living is very restricted flow movement of joy, but we wouldn't be breathing if it weren't for the greater flow. There's no separation from that flow. We're just cut off from the awareness of it. Paula said she's going to the IANS conference. That's International Association of Near-Death Studies. Those folks there, many of them have had a near-death experience and experienced that expanded state. And to a person, they come back and say it's like trying to fit a sausage into the casing to come back into these bodies. And so if you sit and affirm what your soul already knows, I am this joy moving through me, that'll bring you into alignment, and now do the connection and just see how that changes things. So sorry about the lag there. I hope it was just on Debbie's end, because I'm going to now bring on, I need the glasses to see your name, Esther, and hopefully no lag. Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great, having only a cold. A good evening from the Netherlands. And when you started, my dog immediately came next to me. So, and this afternoon I was reading your book, and Lynette was mentioned there with Brenda. So I'm like, okay, beautiful. Well,
it's a dot, right?
Yeah. What I wanted to ask you is, I just came back from Arthur Findlay College yesterday. I went there with a lot of resistance, but I got also like a download November last year. I need to go there. And in January, you showed up, and also Wolf and everything. So I will coming to America, as it seems now. But for a long time, I have issues with health, and for a long time, like every time something comes up. And Paul Jacobs told us in a lecture that if you don't follow the colors of your soul, sometimes you can feel really miserable in life. And this last week, I learned so much, and I got so many insights, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I need to follow this path, and maybe I didn't. So my question was to Sanaya and to you, why and how it comes that I have so many struggles in life? Is it because I did not listen to my soul's message, and now I start to maybe turn my life? Ooh,
something. That was
something from
electric
in my question.
burning. I don't see smoke, so we'll just keep going. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I was wondering, like, yeah, is it like that or not? Sorry for the light.
Okay. First of all, for those
Because
of you
I don't understand why I have all these
those of you
issues.
who don't know, Arthur Findlay College is the spiritualist college for psychic studies, psychic sciences outside of London, and it's a school for mediumship. And I studied there in 2009, went back in 2017. They usually have a short, several days to 1 week classes taught by wonderfully trained and certified mediums. And the energies there is fantastic. So what a blessing that you got to go there and experience that. But to your issue, I would agree with what Paul Jacobs said. Paul Jacobs, a fabulous medium, a contemporary and colleague of Mavis Patilla, and he spoke when I was there as well. What I sense is with the illness is absolutely energy flowing through you, just needing to come out, needing to get out. And when you come on with a cold, what did we just say? That joy is breathing you. So yes, in the physical realm, you probably picked up somebody else's germs being in a public setting, eating together with a group and sitting on chairs that other people with colds had. So yeah, that's the physical part of this. But Louise Hay was really renowned from Hay House, my publisher. She was renowned for showing how many times our physical symptoms reflect what's going on within. Just like I went through the back issues last year, and that showed me an area in the body where I was holding tension. Right now, a respiratory challenge is a beautiful indicator of not breathing fully. And you're now ready to exhale some old stuff that is coming out. So it's not an enemy, it's something you're releasing. And at the same time, also physical symptoms. So some people new to this would say that's all BS, belief system that
No.
that your physical, that your what's inside you energetically affects you physically, but it's all connected, and you know that. So I know also Spirit saying if you go back and systematically look at these challenges when they've come up, as they've come up, and ask Spirit, if you don't immediately see a connection, what was the lesson from that? What aspect of my wholeness was asking to be looked at and released and freed? It will really teach you a lot. And please don't blame any of you yourself for anything that comes up when you do that. Brenda's right here. Thank goodness. So great to feel her again. When she first came into my life, I channeled Sanaya. I didn't know anything about her, but they showed how she had consistent problems in the gut area. And in fact, she had had cancer there twice, and alas, ultimately succumbed to cancer in that area because she was unable to love herself and was always eating herself up from the inside out, didn't like her body, centered on the stomach, her own power, and that affected her there. But it wasn't a punishment that she died from it. It certainly was an effect of a lifetime of thoughts, but she worked on that and cleared it all before she passed and was fully awake when she crossed the veil. It's just really great if we can come to those realizations now and fully awaken now as a result of these opportunities that our physical challenges present us.
Yeah. So all these illnesses all my life, I now start to understand. And actually, I was there with Brenda and Lynette, and now you speaking about this. So I know it's time now to open up and love myself.
That's
and
it.
Shine brightly.
Woo, goosebumps. Y'all get that? Goosebumps.
So
It
thank
is
you.
never too late to start loving ourselves. And I will I'll take you off the screen so you don't feel self-conscious,
Yeah.
but thank you. I hope that's been helpful to you.
A lot. Thank you so much.
Right. I'll tell on Lynette that she says that when she first started following this work, Sanaya ends the daily messages every day with the phrase, "You are so very loved." And she tells everybody, she would read that and go, just like that. Like that was the biggest BS she ever heard, right? Because she didn't feel that because she was taught from a very young age not to love herself. And so, and then picks that up through other things we all do that go on in our lives. So this is time to reverse that, right? To turn around and realize, again, what is wholeness and a coherent state? Where there's no division, that's love. We experience the wholeness as what we call love. But this is a love that never leaves. And when you realize that is your essential state, and you can touch on that in the silence when you set the story aside, do my sip of the divine practice. Find it on YouTube or my website under gifts. When you do that every day, you start to feel that wholeness. And people say, "Oh, I'm so broken." Your story contains brokenness. There's not a one of you and me who doesn't have something in our story that's cracked, raw, needs healing. But where does that healing come from? It comes from finding that wholeness and filling in the cracks with the light. All right. Let's bring on now. We have a couple here. This is going to be interesting to see how this goes. Flavia. Oh, look at that boy. Flavia, that's a Portuguese name, isn't it? Is Flavia Portuguese?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We're talking from Brazil. I am born in Brazil, Brazilian citizen, and we moved back here in 2022.
Oh, very nice. Well,
Yes.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. I'm going to keep it very, very simple. I wrote my question down.
Okay.
So last year we were invited to participate on a circle of Umbanda. I don't know if you heard of.
No.
It also works with mediumship and developed mediumship and talking to spirit guides and everything. Okay. And Lily is my partner. We do it together.
Awesome.
ever since I discovered that mediumship was not something that you were inherited with, that you could develop, I looked for like spiritual videos, and I found yours. I read your book. I have my little bracelet here. The work Joy is Us,
Oh,
right?
awesome. Yeah.
So when I was doing the work Joy is Us, one of the questions that I had was this. So how do we embody joy internally without confusing that with allowing continued access to people that have harmed us? How do we can when we're doing the Joy is Us, we're talking about all these people and sometimes people that we don't resonate with,
Yes.
and they are joy too.
Okay. This
So
is
how
such
do
a great question. So it's so great because our last guest held up my book, The Awakened Way. And now you're talking about a practice that's in that book, The Awakened Way, the Joy Us, or I call it the Mala beads exercise. You found a bracelet with little beads on it. And in this
we made this one.
yeah, it's great. In this exercise, you feel one bead at a time as you go into an expanded state. And you ask spirit to inspire you with the name of a person you know, or maybe somebody you never met. And you say, for example, Lynette is joy. And that's really easy to understand, that Lynette is this state of wholeness expressing through a woman with the name Lynette. And then I can say, Flavia is joy. I move on to the next one. Flavia is joy. And then I move on to the next one. Lily is joy. And then you say with the next beat, and I am joy. And that helps us come to recognize that joy is all of us. But then this is the tricky part, right? That the exercise causes you, then spirit will put in your mind somebody with whom you don't necessarily resonate. And then you say, for example, how can I use a name? Person Y, because I don't want to use a name that might insult somebody. Person Y is joy. And inside you feel this clenching because our stories feel this energy field with whom we've interacted in the past. And
maybe somebody who hurt you before.
Yes, exactly your question. I wanted to make sure people understand this. How do you get to the point? And your question was where, say it again, now that people understand.
So yeah, when we can express this joy exercise, but at the same time, not allow these people to hurt us again. Like,
okay.
It's like, it mixed with a little bit of always forgiving and give the other cheek, but wait, I don't want to hurt myself. So,
well, here's the deal. And this is planting seeds that may be a little challenging to believe, but nobody hurts you except your own thoughts cause you to feel hurt. Because if somebody that hurt you said the same thing to me, it wouldn't have the same effect on me as it does on you. So self-inquiry, another practice in that book, causes you to say, oh, wow, why didn't it hurt her, but it hurts me so badly? It's because of your story. Nothing wrong with the story. That's how joy is expressing as you. But when you can step back and see how those thoughts, why they are affecting you the way you do, and you just say, that's the story. I am joy. I shine my light, and I choose to not allow this to dim my light. That was the past when I thought differently, but I know who I am now. And you shine your light, and now that you're willing to no longer resist that, joy can flow. And this is about the fact that joy is moving. Always, joy is the flow of life in full expression, love in full expression. And when we say that person hurt me, it shouldn't be like this. Well, that's what happened. And it's not acceptable. But help
it built me up to who I am now.
Yeah, and help me, Spirit, to see this in a different light and love their soul, not their actions. Is that helpful?
Yes, it is. Very much. Helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and Lily, I know you see the spirits, and I love that your mom is helping you to know that that is great, and you can continue to see them your whole life if you want. It doesn't have to go away. Okay?
I also have my little question. That
No. Okay.
it's really quick.
Okay.
Well, one time, my mom told me that we had a dog that passed away, and then we have a other dog that's like the other one.
Yes.
And we already asked to spirit,
An entity.
an
Yeah.
entity, if
One was the resurrection of the previous one. And she
Okay.
said that she confirmed that the current dog that we have, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting her because I know you're.
It's good. We get it.
That
And so
the current dog that we have is the reincarnation of the dog that passed before
yes, we
she was
see
born.
this. We see this quite often. And Spirit says in your case, it's more of an energy field, that the other dog's energy field has just merged so completely with this current dog because they both want to be with you. And so you'll see that this dog has, of course, its own unique behaviors, but a lot of the same behaviors, right?
Mhm.
Does the same things, goes and sleeps in the same place, all of those things that are the same because the two have become one. And that's joy in motion.
Obrigada. Thank you.
thank you.
Ciao. All right. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that felt so good, didn't it? All right, our topic, joy, is already moving. If you've joined us late, joy is a state of wholeness that when we tap into that wholeness becomes the experience we know as love. Not necessarily happiness, but this ongoing awareness, despite the stuff I'm going through now, somehow all is well. That knowingness is huge. I can see 3 of you in the studio now. I'm going to do my best, just to let you know, to get to Naya, Julie, and Nancy. I may not get to more, can't promise you, but I'm going to do my best. Hope y'all are getting something from this, if nothing more than you can feel the joy in you and in me at the same time. So Naya, beautiful name.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm really nervous to be here. The audio is all good?
I hear you fine. Yeah, great.
Cool. Yeah, I have my hearts on today
Dude,
too.
don't you?
So,
And okay.
so I did write my question down just to be prompt. So I think it's funny you brought up Lynette when she first started reading, and she would go like, she would just kind of brush it off. Because I kind of feel that way when I first started interacting with your work about the joy. I kind of have a melancholic nature, and so I would kind of feel the same way. I would say, like, you know, what is there to be happy about? But I started your sip of the divine, just because you were correct. I had 3 minutes every day to feel better, and it worked. And so now I do try to meditate like 15 minutes every day, and I know it's working because like the first thought I'll have is like, I'm really happy right now. And for context, I also have taken the Hara course, and I also follow Marie Manucherry, and she talks about centering your awareness in the belly, and she also talks about how people are mostly happy and they don't realize it, and I just feel like that was me as well. So I guess my question leading a little further is, because I took your advice, I do get really good connection, but it feels really random, and I know that following this sense of happiness will like help for that to be less random. Like I would really like to pull like stronger evidence, because when I do get evidence, or when people are brought into my awareness, like the relief that comes off of them when I can deliver a message that I didn't even know was like around, is so beneficial, like not only to me and like my melancholic nature, but like just like the relief that like knowing that something I had been thinking for a long time was not necessarily for me, it was for someone else, and that like I could provide like a good feeling for them too, if that makes sense.
It does. So is there a question in there?
Yeah, I guess I just sorry, are there like kind of tangible things I could do to like get something a little stronger? I do feel like the calling.
Yeah, this is, first of all, recognize it's the program, the brain that says more, and that feels we have to do. And you've already realized, meaning received the gift of feeling the difference because of your practice. So just in doing the silence, which is a non-doing, you are already experiencing beautiful gifts. So continue that practice. And what is coming to awareness now is your doing is to notice the contrast. Feel everything. And you claimed my melancholic nature just a minute ago. Do you want to continue claiming that as who you are? It may be you for your whole life. That may be how you were programmed and how your soul chose as joy to express through you. But it's not a bad thing. It can actually be a strength. Melancholy has this beautiful vibration of recognizing that there is love and beauty in our world, and yet not everywhere. Yeah. Ooh, look at that emotion there. So honor that in you. And yet know that you are the fullness of all of it. So noticing the contrast now is what's bringing you greater awareness. I'm all of it, right? So just keep noticing when you go out of alignment with that self-love. And this is what you're going to see more of. You're going to say, oh, yep, that's part of my wholeness. And now I choose joy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. I really love your work. I went and saw Wolf's Message in Fort Wayne.
Oh,
When I read that at the beginning of last year, I guess. I mean, Wolf just comes through so strongly and so reliably, in my opinion. Like,
beautiful.
if I might share a quick anecdote, I mean, I was just one day sitting like in the store, and I just felt like, I feel like Wolf's here, and it was around Halloween time, and I walked down the aisle, right down the aisle, and they had these lights, like thunder and lightning lights, and I saw them at 2 different stores that day.
Yeah, Wolf was a young man struck by lightning. Check out wolfsmessage.com. It's life-changing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he's very strong.
All right. Oh, well, so is your energy, Naya. Thank you for bringing it to the show. All right.
Thank you.
And I knew I would have an opportunity to share something with you that I read yesterday, and this is the perfect opportunity. Thank you, Spirit. They said print it out. This was by a freelance writer named Josh Code, and I rarely write down quotes, but now I know why. This is about a young man who suffered from depression for years, and he wrote, I realized that I was choosing misery. People were praying for me. They wanted the best for me. I had to want it for myself too. Interesting. And he said, I got in touch once more with the drive I had years ago, the drive that every human being has to be a part of things. I knew that I had a duty, not necessarily to make the world a better place, but to live in it awake and alert. I hope that speaks to somebody. Spirit said it definitely spoke to some of you right now very clearly. And you can go back now on YouTube or the podcast, rewind, and hear that again. This is the one of the realizations we come to when we start really living the awakened way is that joy is awareness, presence. And when we no longer give total credence to the story as our only state of being, but realize we are this joy in motion, we realize we have a choice moment by moment to continue suffering or to notice it, see where it came from, acknowledge it, feel it, and then ask within, what is my next best step now? That's our responsibility as soul. Oh gosh, Spirit just called me on that one. They said, really, we don't have any responsibility. You just came here to shine. If you, he's laughing over here at me again, because I get corrected all the time by Spirit. So just ask your soul what is best for you in the next moment and make that choice to listen. Okay. All right. I said Julie and Nancy. Oh, Julie Marie. I know you. No, I don't. You're a different one. Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Glad your mic is working. How can Spirit help you today?
I have a light question about a personal preference for yourself. Are there any crystals or essential oils you personally use to prepare or to enhance your connection with spirit or joy?
I do. And I'm looking at them right now. And if you took my workshop, it's online, the Forgotten Center. I'm using them now simply because I need reminders in my human side to center myself in the hara, the belly. And this big honking crystal is a smoky quartz, which reminds me of the more earthly energy of the hara, to connect to the earth. So it's a very grounding stone that I put my hand on even before this podcast. And then I put my hand on my belly, and it reminds me, get centered, get grounded. And then I go over here to this beautiful rose quartz, and I put my hand on my heart. You have one?
Yes.
There it is. Look at that.
My rose quartz.
And I put my hand here and remind myself, and joy is here as well. Joy is in the belly, centered, grounded. Joy is here in the heart, felt as love. Then I put my hand on this one. It's a little smaller. It's an agate. And I go to the head. Joy is here as wisdom and insight. This is just a ritual. We don't need any of it. And whatever stone speaks to you. Oh, I have to tell you the coolest thing. So I went to the Tucson Gem Show. I'm sorry to take up. Well, I'm not taking up your time. It's your question.
No, right.
I went to the gem show and I bought this stone that spoke to me. There are literally millions of crystals at the Tucson Gem Show. It's all over town. And this one spoke to me. And I bought it, and it came with this little card that said, here's the card. It says, Spirit says, don't say what it's called, because everybody's going to run out and think it's their stone. No, it called to me. And it said it was from the Jalgaon district, Nashik division, Maharashtra, India. I'm sorry to any of our Indian friends if I butchered that, but that's where it was from. I got home, I bought it because it spoke to me. And in the mail, 1 hour later, is a gift from my dear friend, energy healer Annie B. Bond. It is the same crystal, and it is from Jalgaon, Maharashtra district, India. That's what we call connecting the dots. That is a God wink of the highest order. I saved these cards because I just couldn't believe it, of the millions of stones. And I asked Spirit, why was I drawn to that one? And Spirit answered, because at this point in my life, I'm really stabilizing this awareness that Sanaya and I are all joy, and just being the we-ness of that. Not needing words, not needing evidence, just resting as this. So that's where I am now. If you look at your own crystals, Julie, why were you drawn to them? Because something in your soul at that time said, this is just going to amplify what wants to be felt now, right?
Yes.
And that's, you have that beautiful rose quartz there, and it's a beautiful affirmation of the love that we are. And I can feel that with you. And so everybody, again, we don't need crystals. They're amplifiers, they're reminders, beautiful tools to feel what's already in motion within us. So great question. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Nancy, we have time to get to you for sure. Well, oh gosh, Spirit just said there is no time. So we can go as long as we want, right? Okay. All right. I'm sorry, I was distracted by somebody walking by outside. I thought, here we are. Welcome, Nancy.
Hey, Suzanne. I'm so happy to meet you. I was prompted this morning while I was getting things done so I could get other chores done. Oh, go check out Suzanne, because it popped up on my little, it's live. And I had no idea that I would be here talking to you. Today, this was beautiful, and it's perfect timing, obviously. And I'm going to get emotional because it's through your journey that you helped me get through my partner's death. Mm-hmm. It's been almost 2 years, and it's painful, but I feel joy in it because he suffered so much. And he and other of my loved ones, they connect with me through gifts, heart-shaped leaves and heart-shaped objects, even a piece of an eggshell. After I cracked an egg, there was a little heart-shaped piece of an eggshell, heart-shaped on the pancake. It just little things like that. And there's so many others that I could spend all day talking about it. But I'm getting to a point to where I know I need to move on. I kind of feel like I've been stuck.
I'm so
you know how that feels. And I've gone through some mediumship courses. I've been highly intuitive my whole life. I've had very interesting things happen to me after certain things have happened. I've had people die and then they come to me. I've seen the spirit of my mother, etc., etc.
May I break in, please? Because I'm going
Please.
to have Spirit saying, let's wrap this up so that it becomes
Okay.
relevant to everybody. First
Sure.
of all, we all feel that emotion. And it's the soul in us and the wholeness in us that recognizes this shared humanity. We all grieve in different ways, but we all know grief. So we all also send you our love. And thank you for sharing with everybody the beautiful moments you've had. Skeptics might say, oh, she sees hearts and things. And we know, that was your partner grabbing your attention at that moment to notice that, right? You could feel the presence when you saw those, right?
Well, they're actual physical pieces of nature. I have I have hundreds of heart-shaped leaves.
Yesterday, I did the Instagram live announcement about this, and minutes later, Lynette's taking a photograph of a prickly pear cactus in a perfect heart, right?
Yeah.
Your partner is snagging your attention. Look at that now. You might have just cracked the egg and turned away, but he's here with you saying, oh, look, see, my love never dies. Been using physical objects because like Brenda sees what's going on with us, he sees what's going on with you as well, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the one thing I said when I said, I'm glad you said that, when you said, I know I need to move on. And I would like to reframe that for you, for all of you. We move forward with our loved ones. So it's just a turn of phrase, but knowing that what you're moving forward from is the need for the signs, but they'll continue just when joy realizes joy would like to enjoy a lift from the awareness that we are all joy. You see? But you no longer have to have those, but it comes with a bit of sadness because there was so much joy in seeing the signs, in the remembrance that love doesn't die. So this is actually something to celebrate, that, okay, I would still love for these things to show up in my life because I feel the joy when they do. But I can't wait to see how my partners and my relationship unfolds now as we move forward together. And it may change. I didn't feel Brenda for over a year, a little bit, but not like I did just 2 nights ago. And here she is, channeling her just like I channeled her the night after she died. And she told us, Lynette and me, she held back because she didn't want me to have to rely anymore on the sign game, that it's fun and we can play from time to time when we want to, but we don't need it. And so if your signs or anybody from your loved ones start to lessen, it's just a sign you don't need it anymore. You had that joy. You've come to the awareness your loved one is right here. You said you see the gifts and the gift of knowing that it's not suffering. So now it's like, joy, how are we as joy, your husband and you, your partner and you, how are we going to move forward in a new way now? And there's a peace with that, isn't there? Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right. Well, wow. So yeah, I think this is a good time to move on to our wild card moment. And I'm sorry to those of you who are waiting that we didn't get to. I'm hearing from the guides, trust spirit, that it was just right, that who came on was what we all needed. And so may those of you who didn't get on, ask spirit your questions, or go to SuzanneGiesemann.com/your questions answered and see what answer you get there. But first and foremost, go to your own inner guidance. So spirit, what are we doing here? The topic is joy in motion. Okay, there we go. They want me to share with you my latest acronym for what joy also means. And from my work, if you've read The Awakened Way or many of my other things, I love to put acronyms to things. Oh, Really? Okay. They want me to also read a Daily Way message. I had it queued up in the app here and I forgot. The message from several days ago, if you go to the Awaken Way app, it's free. Here's the message I'm going to read from February 20th. They say it's the perfect message for today. I have to use the glasses. Why does joy, capital J, this state of wholeness, arise as you? For love must be expressed. This is nature. This is your true nature, love. And what is love but pure coherence, the purest state of being, where there is no division, no separation, only this, love. And so you, as joy, do not come here for any reason other than the joy of expression and knowing yourself as love in full expression. You can relax now. You are here in all your fullness, joy as life. And now I see why they had me read that, because they said the wildcard moment is sharing the new acronym, and life is an acronym for love, the wholeness, the joy in full expression. And that's the drama and the trauma and the human joy and happiness, all of it. You as joy chose this human experience not for any purpose other than experiencing all of it. So everybody wants to know, what's my purpose? It's this. And when I say this is the story we're experiencing, but there's a deeper this. That's the state of wholeness. So close your eyes, because the guides say we're going to riff, which means they're going to put it in a way that I might not have put it if I hadn't gone a little deeper now. As we share with all of you, take a nice deep relaxing breath, please, and exhale and relax. What is joy? You have learned it well today, as we have shared with you through this expression of joy known as Suzanne, that it is a state. It is a state of pure being in which anything and everything is possible, joy. But because you learn by remembering certain words, we will define for you another way of looking at joy. J-O-Y. Joy, J, stands for just this. What did you experience in those moments just now of silence? An expectation, a moment of waiting. What is going to fill that space? And in that spacious gap, you experienced this, the wholeness, before it arises as thoughts and sensations and feelings. This, a state of wholeness in which everything and anything is unfolding only now. The future is not set in stone. You as joy and those around you as joy are all contributing your choices to reveal joy as the fullness of all of it. And so, J, just this. O, openness. You cannot feel joy whilst in the human story when you are so attached to the story that you constrict the breath and the very flow of joy. This comes about by believing thoughts that are not in alignment with joy in motion. And so breathe in now, openness. Visualize all of the energy centers in your physical being through which the energy flows, and with the choice to be just this openness, open the doors of your energy center to allow joy to flow freely through and as you. Feel the back door of your heart opening. You are safe here now. Just this openness and why yesing to life. But yesing is not a word you say, and we have created this word, for in your English language, when you put an ing after a word, it becomes a moving word. Yesing is saying yes to love in full expression. And the fullness is not only what you label good, it is also what you might determine is less than good. You say yes, not to mean I agree with this or I resonate with this, but yes, this is how joy is flowing in awareness now. Now, what will I choose to do with this moment? And in that openness of recognizing that, yes, this is happening, you are remaining open. You have not shut the door by saying, no, this cannot be happening. But, dear one, it is. And it is love in full expression. When you can say yes to what is appearing in awareness to you as joy, now you are open. Now you can feel just this. And do you see how we have just gone YOG? Life flows like a wave. It comes, it flows, it goes, it comes again. This is love in full expression. Just this openness, yesing to love in full expression. We do hope that you're joining us today and feeling the joy flowing through you and as you will help you in the coming now moments to yes to life. Again, we remind you, not saying that you agree with what is unfolding, but now from this more open, spacious state of awareness that it is all part of the wholeness, you can make a less constricted, more open, and so very important, more loving choice in response. Starting first and foremost with loving the self, for you are joy. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. And thank you all for joining me here today. Even if at the human level, something that was shared didn't quite resonate with you, what did you feel? How did you feel joy flowing through you today? Planting seeds always to just help you find that love that is right here within you. I do want to share Spirit saying, say it now, say it now. I've been working for days on a very special monthly connection, March 10th. I'm not even there yet, but it's coming together beautifully. That will truly help all of us understand more deeply how our connections with loved ones and guides across the veil take place, why they're possible at all, and most importantly, why we don't hear everything we humans want to hear. This was prompted by recent news about missing people. I'm sure some of you are aware of the big missing persons case going on here, and it caused me to ask Spirit, why can't we find them? We have some of the best psychics and mediums in the world, many of them my dear friends. Why don't we get that kind of information? And the answers I've been receiving are profound and are causing me to reshape some of my understanding about how consciousness flows through us as joy. It promises to be very life-changing, enlightening, and help your own connections. So please join me March 10th for the monthly connection. There's a link right now on my homepage. If you scroll down to featured events, it's going to be a one-topic special event, March 10th, not the normal monthly connection, multiple topics. Why can't we find them? All right. Coming back to the topic at hand, joy is already moving. I hope you felt it tonight. I got the goosebumps multiple times. What is that? That's joy. Moving and saying, I feel myself in this experience. I feel myself in everyone else gathered here. I feel all of you. I feel your love. You feel it coming right at you. Thank you for being part of this Awaken Way community. We all come back week after week because connection is that urge within us. We know we're part of something greater, and sometimes we just need to affirm it by being in it. So go out and share your love with the world. Shine your light. You're here because joy wants to know itself as you. I love you. Lynette loves you. Thank you for joining us. See you back here next week.